dividing rational expressions. So this particular section, dividing. Now let's go back to just dividing a rational number. When we're saying rational expressions, we already understand that our numerator and denominator will be polynomials, and the way that we're going to divide is, of course, factoring. But before we factor, we need to use the division rule where it says take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So if you remember dividing, let's take that example again where we had 5 over 2 time excuse me, where and we divide by, let's say divide by y over 7. Now remember the division rule. Yes, take the reciprocal of the second fraction and change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol, where we remember the keep it, change it, flip it, where we would keep the first fraction the same, change our division to multiplication, flip the second fraction, and then we are able to use our multiplication rule where we have 5 times 7, which is 35, and 2 times y, which is 2y. So that's what we have to do first. And then we factor the numerator, numerators, factor the denominators, cancel all pairs of factors common to the numerator and denominator. So going back to when we talked about multiplying rational expressions, well, we're adding to these steps here. We have a step 0 now. Well, it's a such thing as a step 0, but that's where we do the keep it, change it, and flip it. And then we do the remaining parts of the multiplying. So let's look at an example. We're going to divide x squared minus 16x plus 64 by x squared minus 5x minus 24 divided by x squared minus 64 all over 8. Okay, so don't forget, we're going to keep the first fraction the same. We're going to change that division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip the second fraction. So let's go ahead and let's do that process. Change division to multiplication, flip the second fraction. Okay, let me straighten up my papers here. Let's factor. Numerator first fraction, we have a perfect square trinomial where the binomials are the same. We have x minus 8 times x minus 8. Denominator of the first fraction, we're looking for factors of negative 24. That when you add those fractions, we have negative 5. So our signs are going to be different. So that would be what, 8 and 3, a negative 8 and a positive 3, times, and let's look at the second fraction. 8 cannot be factored, but the x squared minus 64, that's the difference of two squares. We have x plus 8 times x minus 8. And then we reduce, meaning cancel all pairs that's common to the numerator and denominator. And what we have common, we have a set of x minus 8 and another set of x minus 8. What's left over? We have in our numerator, we have an 8 all over our denominator, x plus 3 times x plus 8. There we go.